Alright guys, this video I'm just going to try to explain. I know a lot of targets now, it seems like, are kind of like going through it. You know, there's some new targets, and of course you don't know everyone out there because not everyone's out there making videos and putting them on YouTube. But one thing I want to let you know is like the first year is going to be the most difficult year for you as an individual, as an empowered, chosen, one of the chosen children of Jesus Christ, of the Most High, Yah. The first year is going to be the most difficult because that's when that's the year of separation. A lot of us can attest that if you're born the late 80s, early 90s, like if your age is between your mid 20s to early 30s, mid 30s, a lot of people can attest that 2015, a little bit, maybe 2015, for some people 2012, is kind of the years that a lot of people start noticing this demonic activity. And so one thing that you want to be aware of, right? The first thing that they're going to try to do to you, your family is a part of it. If your family's not a part of it, they're going to be harassed with you. And you can easily tell if your family is losing money, if they're losing opportunities, if they're going through certain things, you'll quickly be able to tell if your family is with you or against you. One thing you want to understand is the gaslighting aspect is going to be the first aspect that you have to deal with, right? So your family's going to gaslight you. They're going to try to tell you that you're paranoid, it's in your head. They're going to even try to tell you, why would people be after you? They're going to try to use the mantra that you're not special or you're not that important. That's, your spouse may say that. Your girlfriend or boyfriend may say that. Your friends will say, why would you think that everybody would be after you? That's gaslighting you. Clearly they are aware, but they don't like the fact that everyone is concerned about you because no one's concerned about them except for the people in their little miserable lives. So they are going to definitely make it seem like, why would everyone be after you? Okay, that's one of the things you're going to experience is that. Another thing you're going to experience is your job. You're going to have harassment at your job. If you can keep a job, all praise be to the Most High. Now, there's levels to keeping the job. One thing I didn't do because I didn't want to, but, in order to maintain income, one thing that would be in your best interest is to play dumb. Now, it sucks because you have to deal with the noise campaigns, the smear campaigns, the pointing, the mocking, the laughing, the lack of opportunities, the false, they'll make up certain things that you didn't do. You may be, 9 chances out of 10, most of us are the most hardworking people, most detail-oriented people that work for whatever companies that we may work for. And so what they'll do is it always seems like nothing's ever good enough. They'll create problems that they may have overlooked. And like I said, again, this is all about your awakening process. This is all about you either understanding something that's not going on or challenging something. And it may just have been you challenging something in an honest manner, something that you standing up for yourself. And it's not a matter of what you did to someone, it's the shift, you understand? They're going to try to create a scenario for you to become passive about or aggressive. But because they know who your true nature are, because they already know who you are prior to all of this, they're going to do something that they know that you're going to react to or hope that you react to. So for everyone talking about they piss someone off, well, it was intention. That's called gaslighting. So they gaslit you into a situation to see how you would handle it, to then bring abroad this whole demonic process, because there's a timeline that they're dealing with biblically. Okay? And so because they're dealing with this biblically, they have to do certain things in order to be certain places to where they want to be, speaking past tense, present now. So what you'll see is all those situations that happened to us are leading us to where we are now. And if you can look over the last 4 years, right? Just look at the last 4 years. If you've been going through it longer than that, you're well aware. But we can speak on the last 4 years or 5 years since 2015, and you can tell the world has gotten worse. Okay? Though it doesn't matter who's the president, who the president has been, it's gotten worse. Okay, meaning that the money has been worth less. Whether or not people, like I said, you're in America, so you're not worried about it. It's going to be worth the same amount in America. Doesn't matter. We're talking about global. The pedophilia has gotten worse. The sex trafficking has gotten worse. The propaganda, freedom of speech has gotten worse. Trying to take away your rights, trying to take away your guns. Okay, we know Trump is, he's not as bad as everyone else. Okay, he's still not a good guy. Okay, none of them are. Okay, but he's just not as fucked up as everyone else, which in the eyes of everyone else makes him seem like the good guy. Okay, so going back to what I'm saying, so the first year you're going to deal with gaslighting. They're going to try to get you imprisonment. They're going to try to get you scared. And this is what this demons. That's why the Bible says the Most High didn't give us a spirit of fear, but of love and a sound mind. So these are going to be the crucial years, months. These first 2 years are when you have to be sound minded. You have to use discernment, whether or not you know the Most High or not. These things are embedded and built into your DNA. This is a part of you. So you have to assess the situation, look at the situation, and move what's best for you. After you realize that your family, your spouses, partners are in on it, then this is when you'll see the separation. You'll see the separation. And then so from that point on, you'll then have to make certain decisions that are only for your best interest. Now that means using people, if you have to, that you know are not on your side to have your best interest. Okay, but you have to, because the enemy said, and Most High says again, he will make your enemies your footstools. Okay, so don't feel bad because people are trying to shoot you down in the ground. And I don't mean that, they're going to try to do all manner of things that they can wicked to you. Don't feel bad, because these people don't feel bad for what they're doing. They know what they're doing. Everything they're doing is intentional. Okay? So you have to use that energy against them. Now, in the Most High, you hear a lot of people out here, religious still, who have the idea that the Most High loves everybody. He doesn't. What you're coming to find out is that the Most High loves you. He loves me. And he loves everyone else who is going through this trial and tribulation spiritually. Now, be mindful. There are two types of targets. There's targets of the world and targets of the spirit. Okay? And what they'll do is they'll use targets of the world to manipulate those of the spirit. Because you understand, these people of the world are still there. These people may have pissed off somebody. They've gone against their programming. They've gone against their handler. And therefore, they have to go through the shit that we go through, which a lot of times you hear them talking about their life in danger. You'll hear them go through certain things in instance that you may be able to relate to, but it's just on a different scale. And the reason for that is because, again, they are a perp, a demon, an NPC who has gone against their handlers. That's why your neighbors, if you see why they do everything to the T, it's repetitive, is because the same thing will happen to them, except there's no covering. So look out for hand symbols, color codings. You'll see. And if you can't pick up on it, you ask the Most High for discernment and wisdom to allow you to see. Go study up Masonic symbols and then go on your Instagram and you'll see it all over. Once you go study the Masonic symbolism and hand signals and how they communicate, you'll start to see it. That's one thing that happened to me. It's like once I saw it, I cannot stop seeing it. I actually look for it because then you can tell the wheat from the tares by how they act. Second and third year, and I can only speak, I've been only going through this for 4 years, so this is like a starter course. The second and fourth year is kind of when you fight or flight. So it's kind of like when you decide that you're going to man up, woman up, that you're going to boss up, and you're not going to be toyed with, you're not going to be played with, you're not going to be manipulated. So that's when you start to come out of your shell. A lot of things that you may not have been comfortable with, you're going to start to be not comfortable with, but you're going to overrule. You're going to start to challenge the people around you, and they're going to start to see that. So what you understand is that this is not going to get better, okay? But it can get worse or it can stay the same depending on how you react to the situation. And what I mean is you can control these monkeys to literally just drive up and down the street, make noise, and be around you. Okay, to the point where this is all they can do. right? Because what you want to have them is you want to have them in a position of fear and uncertainty. Because if they can guess your next move and it's passive, or they know you're not going to do anything, then they get it worse for you. Then they'll continue to do certain things to intimidate you or to put fear into you so that, they can continue down this path, which ultimately, right, they want you to commit suicide. Now, I keep telling people, whether you believe or not in God, that is why you're alive. It's not because the amount of guns you have. It's not because how diesel you are, or pepper spray, or how fearless you are. Those things are given to us by the Most High. So those things they are already afraid of. But they're afraid of the covering that we have issued by the Most High. They cannot touch us because it'll bring Armageddon to their plans. Okay? They touch one hair on our head. The prophet says, do my prophet no harm. Okay? Touch not my anointed and do my prophet no harm. They cannot touch you unless you make yourself accessible. Which means if you act first, then it's free game. Okay? Because then they're going to issue self-defense, or they're going to make it seem like you're the bad guy. So you always have to be on passive defense. You have to be on defense. This is a defensive game. Anybody who knows football, no matter how fake it is, defense wins games. So you have to be on the defense. Strictly, this is what you have to abide by. Because if they catch you on the offensive, you're going to end up in jail or a worse situation. So I've mastered the art of defense. I can't say mastered, but this is a method that I use, the art of defense, because I know, first you have to know your surrounding. You have to know the people you're dealing with. Doesn't mean you have to know them directly. You have to know that these people aren't as bright as you. They're not the smartest tool in the box. Okay? You have to also know these people are controlled. So you already have the upper hand by you being a free person. You have free will. Okay? So you can act in your free will given to us by the Most High. Right? Not everybody has free will. That's why everyone around you makes noise. You're driving up down the street. Everything they do is controlled, whether it's by Satan or their handler. You understand? Satan is the ultimate handler of these people. Understand that. So from the years 3 to 4, right? And I'm just dealing with the first 4 years, which is I can only speak about. This is going to be some of the most crucial times in you setting your future. Okay? Because they can only do what you allow them to do. They can only move based on the schedule you create, based on the patterns you give them. They can only do to you what you respond to. Okay? So again, if you don't respond to the noise, yes, it doesn't mean they'll stop right then and there. They'll continue to it. But again, they'll use another method. So let's say you respond to color coding more than you do to noise. Well, when you go outside, it'll be chaotic version of color coding. If let's say you don't like the noise, it'll be the noise. Let's say you recognize tag numbers. Let's say you don't like people in sunglasses. Whatever they know that you don't like the most is what they're going to pinpoint on. Understand, these people are demonic, possessed beings. They're not real. You understand? So whatever they know that you don't like, they'll do. So then in return, you will control them by what you respond to. Do you understand me? You are able to control these monkeys based on giving them things that they will perceive as annoying you. And then you'll give them a mind fuck when certain times and certain things, they do certain things, they don't get that response out of you. Understand? This is all about repetition. Okay, so the more repetitive you are in an instance or in a situation is what they're going to do. Satan is the ultimate deceiver. This is deception. A lot of these people are not getting paid. This is a way of life for these people. Understand? And if they were getting paid, it's by their own money, taxes. So don't worry about the money being made. Don't worry about this fiat currency anyway. We are worth far more than anybody that you're around. You're worth more than the billionaire or the trillionaire. By far, you are priceless. These people have a net worth and a tag. You don't. You are priceless. That means there's nothing that can buy you. Understand? Take joy and pride in that. Okay? These people have a number. And those numbers are fake because the money's fake. So I want to come on here. Hopefully somebody spoke, this resonated with you. And peace and blessings.